Welcome back to NYSE Live. Sooth, an AI-powered predictive intelligence company, helps businesses understand the people who buy from them. And it recently published its latest edition of its Eli report, giving readers a glimpse of what industry trends could pop up in the new year. Well, joining me now with more is Ian Baer. He's Sooth's founder and CEO. Ian, welcome.
Thank you so much, Kristen. It's great to be here.
It's great to have you here at the stock exchange today. And
thank you. We live and our office is just a few blocks away, so we're neighbors.
Perfect, especially on a winter day like today. Give our viewers a sense as to what Sooth is and who are your customers.
Yep. So Sooth is a business we launched about 3 years ago. After I had codified a methodology to predict the emotional needs and emotional responsiveness of consumer and business decision makers. So what we do is we cross-reference data on about 300 million people worldwide with over 100 million real-time intent signals. And that allows us to predict with 91% accuracy what a business decision maker, a buyer for a business or a consumer buying breakfast cereal will do. And so the brands we represent include pharmaceutical companies, healthcare companies, banks, consumer packaged goods, automotive. We work in nearly every consumer and business category you can imagine.
Yep, you're out with the Eli report this morning.
Yes.
What is this report? What does Eli stand for?
So Eli is the AI platform that we built and launched at the beginning of 2025. And around this past summer, Eli started producing weekly reports looking at different industries. So now as we've been tracking trends across a number of industries, and in fourth quarter especially, you can imagine, we looked at holiday shoppers. We looked at people who were using deferred payment like buy now, pay later. We're also looking at the job market and a lot of the anxieties around that. And recently, Eli observed that these trends were coming together in a way that could really create some disruption in the first quarter. And that's what we reported on in this morning's Eli report, which is up on our website right now.
And what are your top takeaways from this morning's report?
Well, my top takeaways, we're calling it a consumer debt iceberg, potentially. Because what nobody sees, we had, for example, Bank of America recently reported that the consumer credit situation looks good to them based on holiday spending. But they don't account for buy now, pay later. Neither do the credit bureaus. So the concerns we see are that the overuse potentially, 48% is one of the numbers I've seen for holiday shoppers who use some form of buy now, pay later. So where that crashes in the first quarter, those payments start to come due, and job anxiety is on the rise, and we see the potential for a crash that could then result in a chain reaction, a domino effect that would lead to a spike in retail return rates, a lot of people potentially trying to reverse out of over expenditures at the holidays, and ultimately this is going to hit consumer debt in a way we don't think anyone sees coming. That's why we call it an iceberg.
Okay, let's talk about Sooth's use of AI.
Yes.
AI is the architects of AI, in fact, Times Person of the Year this year. How are use cases underway for Sooth AI?
Well, the AI powers our whole business. We wouldn't exist if it wasn't for AI. So even 3 years ago, when we opened our doors, it was all empowered by AI, giving us the ability to instantaneously ping all of these data signals for all of these anonymized people to decode their decisioning patterns. We don't use AI in a generative way. We don't use it to produce creative. We're not an ad agency. We advise companies and brands predictively on the emotional, practical, and situational needs of the people who buy from them. So it's a different use of AI from that you generally see, although we are starting to hear now a lot more about predictive AI, and I think we will continue to as the whole industry evolves in 2026, and we start to realize It's not necessarily about taking the place of humans, taking humans' jobs away. It's about helping humans do their jobs better.
Yeah.
That's what we do for marketers.
Yes. Anything more that you can share with us, Ian? Here we have about 60 seconds left.
Well, we see a lot of change coming this year. So we've already started to forecast some significant ripple effects. But certainly this very consumer debt iceberg we're looking at, that's going to run a thread through all of consumerism this year. One of the big things that's going to call into question is the validity of credit scoring models. Credit scoring models have always relied on bank reporting data, creditors, but the firms and Afterpays of the world, they don't report to the credit bureaus. We see that as silent debt. And I think anyone in the banking, retail, e-commerce industry should be very aware of that kind of hidden silent debt, especially for people who may have recently taken car loans or mortgages and suddenly find, okay, I've got $300 in buy now, pay later payments due this month. Am I still going to be able to pay my car loan?
Ian Baer, Sooth's founder and CEO, joining us this morning here in studio after that 9 a.m. Eli report dropped. Ian, thank you.
Thank you so much, Kristen.
Great to have you.